Good morning students. So in economics first lesson development you studied about what is development and what is underdevelopment, and also for development there are three elements. Understood? Three elements. In that, one is process, another one is real national income. So here what is national income? That definition is very important. Goods and services produced in one particular year, that is known as national income. So next is the last element is long period. So what is this long period? Now process is going on, the national income is more. Now long period means what? The national income, whatever it is, it should be for a long period of time. Understood? For 1 or 2 years the national income has increased, and afterwards if the national income is decreased, then we can't say that the country is developed or it is developing. Understood? So here the national income, it should be increasing level. Understood? It should be increasing in increasing level for about 10 years or more. Then it is known as the country is developing. Understood? So see here, long period. The increase in real national income should be sustained over a long period. Understood? Sustained means it should continue. Sustain over a long period, say for 10 years or more. Short-term spurts in income are not considered as development. Understood? If for 1 or 2 years suddenly the national income is very high, then we cannot say that the country is developing. Understood? The changes in supply of factors of production and demand for goods and services should be continuous in order to bring about sustained increase in incomes over the longer period. So here the long period, it is very important. So this it should happen for long period means what we should do? The manufacturing should be more, the consumption should be more, the production should be more. So at that time only what will happen? The income of the country will be for a long period of time. Professor Colin Clark defines economic development as an improvement in economic welfare. Economic welfare in terms is the availability of all those goods and services which are used by the individuals. Improving economic welfare of people also means reducing economic ills like poverty. So see here, according to Professor Colin Clark, what does he says? According to him, an improvement in economic welfare. Understood? What is development? Development is improvement. Improving means better than the earlier. So here improvement in economic welfare. So economic welfare means individually in our houses or my personal, it will be whatever things I am using, it should be of good thing. It should be of good. Understood? Whatever I was using earlier, it should be better than that. Now whatever I am using, it should be better than the thing which I was using earlier. And also the problems like poverty, unemployment should be solved from the country. It should be removed out. Understood? At that time only what we can say? The country has been developed. Hence, we may describe economic development as a process that extends over a long period, which helps in reducing poverty and thereby helping a country to achieve self-sustained growth in a country. See, when there is a development for a long period of time, automatically what will happen? The economic condition of the country will be improved. There will be the development of the country. So here what happens? When there is development of the country, individually what will happen? We will spend our well-beings in a better well-being. Whatever things we were using earlier, we will use more improved, more developed things in our life. So here over the period of time, the objectives of economic development have been broadened, and now we hear about inclusive and sustainable development. Understood? So see here, inclusive and sustainable development. Inclusive means here development should be in all the sectors. So it might be economic, it might be health or anything it might be. So here economic conditions should be improved improved in all the sectors. And also sustainable. Sustainable means it should last for a long period of time, not for 1 or 2 years. Ensuring that every person is benefited by the process of development is inclusive development. Understood? In all the sectors, the development should be there, not only in 1 or 2 fields. Preserving natural resources and the environment for the benefit of future generations also is sustainable development. Thus, the objectives of economic development can be started as increasing income, attaining equality, reducing poverty, unemployment and inequality, conserving resources and environment and enhancing overall welfare of all. So see here, these are the objectives of economic development. So many times they have asked for this question for 2 marks. What are the objectives of economic development? So you have to write this all. That is increasing income. So our income, how it should be? It should be increasing every year, so that we can purchase all those goods and services which are available. Next, attaining equality. So here see, whatever the class system is there in our society, upper class, middle class, rich, poor and all these economic classes are there, those should be removed out. Understood? So here, attaining equality, all should be treated equally. Next, reducing poverty. In our society, poverty is there, no? That should be reduced, that should be decreased. Next, unemployment and inequality. So unemployment problem is there, no? That also should be solved. So these are the objectives. And also conserving resources and environment. So environment pollution, whatever is there, our environment should be preserved. Understood? It should be whatever the pollution and all is there, it should be removed out. And also conserving resources, means whatever the resources are available to us. Understood? Those resources should be conserved, those should be preserved. So these are the objectives of economic development. See here, while USA, Canada, Japan, Germany, England, Australia, countries of Western Europe witnessed long-term rise in income before 1950s. Understood? So here, these countries, they had a long-term income rise. So they had a long-term economic development before 1950s only. Before we India got an independence, those countries, they had long-term development. But here countries like Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, China and many other countries have witnessed long-term rise in income during post-1950s. Post-1950s means after 1950s, these all countries, Singapore, China, Hong Kong and all, Malaysia, they have shown a long-term increase in their economy. These countries are called as the developed countries of the world. So see, the countries before 1950s and the countries after 1950s which had a long-term economic development, these countries are said to be as developed countries. Next here, underdevelopment. Opposite of development is underdevelopment. Understood? The countries which still they are developing or they are not at all developed, such countries or such type of development we call it as underdevelopment. The word underdevelopment denotes a backward and stagnant situation where levels of living of people are low due to lower level of per capita income and lower productivity levels. Apart from high population growth, according to the United Nations, an underdeveloped country is one whose real per capita income is lower than that of the USA, Canada, Australia and Western Europe. So see here, the word underdeveloped. See, when we are using this word underdevelopment or underdeveloped for the countries, that we are saying this country is backward. Backward in what? Backward in their economy. If we say that country is underdeveloped, means that country is facing many problems. Problems like poverty, unemployment, illiteracy, inequality and all. And also it has very less economy of that country is very low. Or national income of that country is very less. Understood? So here what happens? When the national income of that country is less, the production of goods and services also will be very less. Understood? And the income of the people also will be less. So those people suffer from poverty and all such problems. So according to the United Nations, what they have said, see, underdeveloped countries is one whose real per capita income. So what is per capita income? Understood? Per capita income means total income for total population in a particular area. Understood? For total income, total population, that is called as per capita income. So here see, the per capita income is lower than the per capita income of the developed countries like USA, America, Canada and all. Understood? So when one country's per capita income is less than those developed countries' per capita income, at that time we tell as those countries are underdeveloped countries. Understood? So here there is a clear explanation about per capita income. I will tell you later. So here emphasis here is on the low income level relative to the advanced countries. However, since the underdeveloped nations are capable of development and are making serious efforts to overcome their problems of low income and poverty, they are now called as the developing countries. So here these underdeveloped countries, now they are trying to solve their problem. Understood? What problems? Problem like poverty, unemployment, illiteracy and all. So they are trying to solve those problems. When they are trying to solve those problems are solved up to some extent. So these countries now they are called as developing countries. Understood? So this much is about underdevelopment. See here, the World Bank in its World Development Report classifies the countries as high, medium and low income countries. And all countries with middle and low income are referred to as developing countries. India is a prominent developing country that has recorded significant rise in income since 1990s. So see here, according to World Bank report, understood? World Bank has given a report that is known as World Development Report. Means how many countries are there in the world? How much is the development level? What is the development level of those countries? So according to that World Bank report, it has classified the countries into medium, high, medium and lower. Understood? Low income countries. So which country has high income? Which country has medium income? Which country has low income? So in that, if you see, there what depends, India is a developing country. Developing country means its national income is raising every year. So it is showing the sign of development from when? From 1990s. Understood? Next, so see here, next point is indicators of development. First one was development and underdevelopment. In development you saw about process, real national income and long term. Understood? So these three elements were there of development. Next you saw about what is underdevelopment. And next, now the second point is indicators of development. See here, elements of development are different and indicators of development are different. See here, indicators of development. So how we can say that country is developed, that country is developing, or that country is underdeveloped. So here few indicators are being mentioned. If those indicators, if the country satisfies those indicators, at that time we say that that country is developed. So here indicators of development. How do we measure economic development? Understood? So here, how we come to know the economic development of a particular country? Economists have advocated different indicators, and the prominent one is based on the income generated in a country, and the rest using indicators other than income. Understood? So here, the economists means those who study economics are called as economists. So according to economists, those they have said about few indications, about few indicators of development. In that, one is income generated in a country. Based on the income generated in the country, means how much income is there in this country, how much tax is being collected by the government in this country, how much goods and services are produced in one particular country in 1 year. So see here next, income indicator. Income used here is the national income. National income, which is defined as the income of all the people residing in a country. So see here, income means what? How many people are there in the country? Total population of the country. How much they earn? What is their income? We can calculate it? No, we can't calculate it. So here there is a rough calculation said that the people living in that particular country, how much they earn, how much income they have. Why it is important? It is important because through that we can come to know the per capita income of that particular country or that particular area. So when the per capita is high, when it is high or equal to the developed countries, we can say that this country is developed. When the per capita income is low, we say that that country is still developing or underdeveloped. So here, as described earlier, higher the income, higher is the development. However, economic progress in a country will be slower if the population expands along with the increase in national income. So see here, higher the income, higher the development. Higher the national income, I am not telling about a personal or a family's income. Higher the national income, higher the development. Lower the national income, lower the development of that country. So see here, economic progress in a country will be slower if population expands. So see here, if income is that much only, but population is increasing. If population is increasing, income is stagnant, at that time what will happen? Automatically the income of the countries will be lower. Countries income also will be less, and also there will be many problems like poverty, unemployment and all. So therefore, comparison of economic development between countries with different level of population will not be done. Hence, per capita income is being used as an indicator of development instead of national income. It is the average income of each individual in the country which is calculated as national income divided by the total population in a given year. So see here, if national income is there, national income, it is important. Why? Because by national income only we can come to know the economic development of the country. But if the national income is stagnant and the population is increasing every year the population is increasing and the national income is only so much stagnant, at that time what will happen? The economic development of the country will be automatically less. So the countries which have more population, the countries whose population is more, they have less national income. The countries which have less population, they have more national income. Why? Because their population is less. So here this word population is very important while calculating the national income. So here national income is not used as an indicator of income. So here per capita income is used. Per capita income it is used. So what is per capita income? Total per capita income is total income divided by total population. Total income divided by total population. facilities also. Why? Because it has more population. So here their national income, means their income is same, but their problems are there and their problems are not there. So this country, this is undeveloped and this is developed. Understood? Why? Because it has more population, it has less population. Same thing happens with the countries. If the country has more population and national income is high, is equal, at that time that country will be still not yet developed. Why? Due to population. Understood? But the country which has a low population and national income is more, that country will not suffer from this underdevelopment. Why? Because its population is less. So here income indicator. So national income is not taken as an income indicator, but per capita income has been considered as a income indicator. Understood? So see here they have given the per capita income of India was rupees 1,21,603 in 2016. Understood? So here total population of India, when it is divided by total income, at that time how much it was? Per capita income means per person how much should earn? 1,21,603, which is 15% of the world's average. It is calculated as national income. Rupees 1,47,86,557 crores divided by the population 121 crores. India is the 7th largest country in the world in terms of national income, but 143rd in terms of per capita income. See, when we see in national income, India is 7th largest country. In national income, if you see, it is 7th largest country, but due to population, its per capita income is in 143rd it ranks. Understood? Although this is a very popular and simple indicator, it does not consider the distribution of income among people as well as the availability of basic amenities like food, shelter, education, health or other similar social factors. Understood? So see here the basic amenities. Basic amenities means basic facilities. So see here the basic facilities are very less, where per capita income is also less. Understood? Like food, shelter, education, health and all. These facilities are very less, where the per capita income is less. So here see, amenities means facilities. Hence attempts are made to extend the income measure by including other parameters of development. Understood? So see here, other parameters of development. Parameters means the limits or frameworks. Others are also there, which are taken as parameters of development. These are called as alternative indicators, the prominent of which is Health Development Index. Understood? Sorry, Human Development Index, HDI. So other parameters are also taken as important thing in development, which are also called as Human Development Index. So see this Human Development Indicators. So this is also very important regarding your exam. Human Development Indicators. There are 3 main indicators of human development. So that we shall see in the next video about Human Development Indicators.